There comes a point in life when you realize the greatest battle you face is not against the world, but within yourself. It isn't just about overcoming obstacles. It's about understanding that the obstacle standing in your way is not something outside of you. It is you. Your fears, your doubts, your unhealed wounds, your patterns of self-sabotage, all calling for transformation. This is a journey of inner awakening, a path of deep self-exploration, a slow shedding of past identities and pain layer by layer to uncover the truth that you already have everything you need to heal, evolve, and rise. In this, we walk through the emotional valleys and climb the mental peaks of personal transformation. You'll discover how to face your internal resistance, rewire your beliefs, understand your emotional triggers, and ultimately reclaim your power. This is not a quick fix. It is not a story of perfection. It is the raw, honest, beautiful process of becoming whole again, from the inside out. You were not broken. You are becoming. And this mountain was placed before you to show you how high you were meant to climb. Welcome to my channel, where we give you a motivational story to awaken your greatness, which is inside you. If you are new here, I ask you to subscribe and like this video, and give your comments on the video. Thank you. Every individual faces an invisible mountain. It's not a physical peak, but an emotional and psychological one. A mountain of fear, doubt, trauma, habits, and resistance. These internal obstacles block the path to fulfillment, yet the paradox lies in this truth. The mountain isn't just the barrier, it is you. Conquering it doesn't mean defeating something outside yourself. It means facing your inner world, climbing through your own resistance, and becoming the person you were always meant to be. Change begins not with external adjustments, but internal awakenings. Many live each day on autopilot, repeating the same patterns, questioning why nothing changes. What they don't realize is that their mind is programmed to protect them, even if it means holding them back. What feels like procrastination is often fear of failure. What looks like laziness may be a disguise for unresolved trauma. And what appears to be self-sabotage is often self-preservation in disguise. You don't heal by pretending the pain doesn't exist. You heal by understanding it. You transcend it by listening to it. Your mountain, the fear, the trauma, the insecurity, is calling you to climb not away from yourself, but into the deepest parts of who you are. The only way to move forward is to stop running from yourself. Many people don't change because they wait to feel ready. But readiness doesn't come before the action. It follows it. Action precedes clarity. Growth is born from discomfort. When you feel unsure, afraid, or overwhelmed, that is the moment you are evolving. If you wait until the fear disappears, you'll remain stuck forever. People often ask, why do I keep sabotaging my own success? But the truth is that self-sabotage isn't sabotage, it's protection. It's a part of you trying to prevent pain. You might fear that success will isolate you or that love will make you vulnerable. So unconsciously, you create chaos where there should be calm, push people away when you need them most, and quit right before breakthroughs. Understanding the mechanism behind self-sabotage is the first step towards dismantling it. Self-sabotage is often born from a gap between what you consciously want and what you subconsciously believe you deserve. To close that gap, you must rewire your internal story. You will stop sabotaging your future when you believe you are worthy of it. Healing doesn't mean erasing the past. It means finding power in it. Trauma fragments your sense of self. It makes you doubt your instincts. It anchors you to outdated beliefs. But when you examine the pain, without judgment, you begin to see it as a teacher, not a tyrant.
You understand that your wounds were not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Most of our internal battles begin in childhood, when unmet needs turn into lifelong patterns. If you were never taught emotional regulation, you might find yourself reacting explosively to minor triggers. If you lacked affirmation, you might chase validation from others. But adulthood is the opportunity to give yourself what your past could not. Fear isn't your enemy, it's your compass. It points to the very thing that has the power to transform you. When fear whispers, "You can't do this," that's precisely the thing you must try. Growth does not come from doing what's easy, it comes from doing what's necessary. Fear shows you where the work lies. You will never feel fully ready to let go of what once protected you. The toxic relationship, the unfulfilling job, the comfortable numbness. All these were survival tools at one point. But what helped you survive is not always what will help you thrive. You have to grieve the version of you that needed them and step into the version that doesn't. Letting go isn't weakness. It's the wisdom to stop watering dead flowers. Every person has two identities, the person they are and the person they are becoming. The gap between them is the journey of transformation. The first step is radical self-honesty. You must look at your life and ask, where am I pretending? Pretending to be okay, pretending you don't hurt, pretending this is what you really want. Real change begins the moment you stop pretending. You can only heal what you reveal. When you stop avoiding pain, you start building strength. Resilience isn't about being unaffected by struggle, it's about finding purpose within it. Your pain shapes you, but it doesn't have to define you. It can be the reason you rise. Reinvention starts with small, repeated choices. Healing isn't a one-time awakening, it's a daily decision. The decision to respond differently, to think differently, to believe differently. Each small shift adds up. Each new habit becomes a stepping stone. You are not rebuilding your life from scratch, you are reclaiming what was always yours. The moment you realize your patterns, you reclaim your power. When you understand your emotions instead of judging them, you unlock your strength. Anger shows where your boundaries were crossed, sadness points to what you cherish, anxiety highlights uncertainty. Each emotion is a messenger, not a mistake. Listen to them with curiosity, not condemnation. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. They protect your peace, energy, and identity. Without boundaries, you'll feel exhausted, resentful, and invisible. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole. It's how you make room for what truly matters. The most difficult mountain to climb is not the one the world sees, but the one within. It's the mental walls, the old stories, the invisible prisons. But each step you take inward is a step closer to freedom. Your future self is waiting on the other side of your current discomfort.
Progress rarely looks like success. Often, it appears as chaos. Everything you thought you knew gets shaken. The relationships you clung to begin to fall apart. The old ways of thinking no longer work. And the emotions you've buried come bubbling up to the surface. This unraveling is not your destruction. It is your becoming. Sometimes the breakdown is the breakthrough in disguise. When you feel like you're falling apart, you're actually shedding layers that no longer serve you. Growth feels like grief because you are saying goodbye to familiar parts of yourself, even the parts that held you back. You can mourn the comfort of old habits while celebrating your evolution beyond them. In the face of resistance, most people retreat. But resistance is a natural response to change. It's the mind's way of trying to keep you safe. The familiar feels secure, even when it's painful. Pushing past resistance means teaching your nervous system that safety exists in the unknown too. Many of us were taught to suppress our pain, smile through it, distract ourselves, pretend it doesn't exist.
But pain ignored is pain amplified. What we don't face becomes a shadow that haunts our choices. To liberate yourself, you must meet your pain with presence, not avoidance. You are not weak for feeling broken. You are human. Strength is not in your ability to hide your wounds, but in your courage to heal them. Every scar tells a story of survival. You are still here, still trying, still rising. That is strength. Healing is not becoming a new person. It's reclaiming the person you were before the world taught you to shrink. Emotional intelligence is the anchor in your storm. It is the ability to sit with discomfort without letting it drown you. It's learning to pause before reacting. It's noticing your triggers and gently questioning them instead of lashing out. It's becoming the calm within your chaos. Your thoughts shape your reality. Every day you're narrating a story in your mind. If you repeat that you're not enough, your actions will align with that belief. If you speak possibility, you unlock doors you couldn't even see before. The most important voice you'll ever hear is your own. Belief is a blueprint. If you want to change your life, you must challenge your inner architecture. Ask yourself, what do I believe about love, about money, about success, about myself? Then go deeper. Who taught you this? Why do I still carry it? You can only rewrite what you recognize. You do not need to become someone new to be worthy. You were born enough. Growth is not about becoming lovable, it's about remembering you already are. Self-love is not just spa days and affirmations, it's hard decisions. It's walking away from what hurts. It's choosing yourself even when others don't. You won't find self-worth in someone else's approval. You find it when you stop abandoning yourself. Change doesn't happen by wishing, it happens by doing. Start small. Show up for yourself in tiny ways each day. Drink the water, set the boundary, speak your truth. Those small acts of self-respect build a foundation so strong nothing external can shake it. We often wait for someone else to fix us, a partner, a mentor, a breakthrough moment. But no one is coming to save you. You are the hero of your own story. You are the one you've been waiting for. Healing begins when you take ownership of your life. Reparenting yourself means learning to give yourself what your past denied you. If you weren't given emotional safety, you learn to create it now. If you weren't taught how to dream, you learn to imagine now. You are not stuck in the story of your childhood. You are writing a new one. Often the pain we carry isn't even ours. It was passed down through generations. Fear, shame, scarcity, these are inherited legacies. But you have the power to end the cycle. Healing yourself heals the lineage. You are not just changing your life, you are changing what's possible for everyone who comes after you. You are the turning point in your family's story. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harm. It means refusing to let it control your future. Forgiveness is for you. It's how you take back your power. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. Letting go is how you move on. Your triggers are not flaws. They are windows. They show you where healing is still needed. Instead of reacting, ask, what does this teaching me? Where does this come from? What does this moment remind me of? With awareness, your triggers become teachers, not tyrants. Not every storm comes to break you. Some come to clear your path. The moments that feel like endings often mark the beginning of something greater. Trust the collapse. Trust the discomfort. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Surrender is not giving up. It's giving in to the truth. It's releasing the illusion of control and allowing life to unfold. You can't micromanage your healing. You can only meet each moment with openness and grace. What you resist will persist. What you embrace will transform. You don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. You don't need a 10-year plan. You need courage to move 1 inch forward. Progress is made in motion, and clarity often comes in the doing, not the waiting.
True self-mastery comes when you stop living in reaction. So much of our life is shaped not by what happens, but by how we respond to it. A moment of anger, a passing fear, a casual comment. All of these can derail us if we're not grounded. But when you pause, breathe, and choose your response, you shift from chaos to clarity. The strongest people are not those who don't feel. They are those who choose how they act in spite of how they feel. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you're behind. The world moves fast. Social media shows only highlights. You compare your everyday to someone else's best day. But healing isn't linear. Growth isn't a race. Your timing is perfect for your path. You are not behind, you're becoming. We often measure success by visible milestones, money, titles, accolades. But the most profound success is invisible. Peace of mind, emotional intelligence, a regulated nervous system, and a life built with intention. These are the treasures no one sees, but everyone feels. There is a silent war within most people, the desire to be accepted versus the need to be authentic. But the moment you start betraying your truth to fit in, you lose a part of yourself. True belonging is found not in being accepted by others, but in accepting yourself. Authenticity is a rebellion in a world that rewards masks. It takes courage to say, "This is who I am," especially when you fear rejection. But when you live aligned with your values, your people will find you, your peace will return, and your soul will feel safe. When you trade authenticity for approval, you end up losing both. Life will keep testing you in the same ways until you pass the lesson. Different faces, same wounds. New jobs, same burnout. Different partners, same heartache. Until you recognize the pattern, you will repeat it. But the day you see it and choose differently, that is the day everything changes. Most patterns are not conscious, they're rooted in early survival. If love felt conditional in your childhood, you may become a perfectionist to earn acceptance. If your needs were unmet, you might silence yourself to avoid being too much. But you are not your past coping mechanisms. You are capable of new responses. Real change doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like quiet decisions. Saying no when you usually say yes. Taking a walk instead of numbing with a screen. Choosing to speak up instead of staying silent. These small shifts ripple into profound transformation. Don't underestimate the power of the unseen effort. In healing, there will be days you feel like nothing is changing, but growth often happens in the background. Like seeds planted underground, your efforts bloom silently until one day they break the surface. Trust the process. Keep watering your soul. Don't dig up in doubt what you planted in faith. People don't always understand your healing journey, and they don't need to. Your transformation may make others uncomfortable, especially those who benefited from your silence, compliance, or self-sacrifice. But you are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your truth. Sometimes you outgrow people, not out of anger, but evolution. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to let go. You're allowed to want more. Honor the relationships that walked with you for a time, but don't feel guilty for continuing the journey without them. One of the greatest lies we tell ourselves is, "I'll be happy when I'm successful, when I'm loved, when I'm healed." But happiness is not a destination, it's a decision. It's choosing to be present, even if things aren't perfect. It's gratitude, even in the in-between. The greatest freedom is emotional freedom. When you're no longer ruled by fear, dictated by shame, or driven by guilt. When you don't need others to validate your worth. When you feel peace inside, regardless of what happens outside. That's true liberation. Emotional freedom isn't about never feeling pain.
It's about no longer fearing it. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every scar, every stumble, every restart is part of your building. You are more than the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are the wisdom born from it. You are the love you give anyway. You are the hope that rises again and again. Let go of the need to have every step mapped out. You don't need to see the whole path, just the next step. Your intuition knows. Your heart whispers. The next step is enough. Clarity is a reward for movement, not hesitation. You will be tempted to shrink back into what's comfortable, especially when growth gets lonely. Don't. The discomfort is temporary. The expansion is permanent. Remember why you started. Hold the vision of your highest self and keep climbing. Your mountain was never meant to defeat you. It was meant to elevate you.
You do not heal by fixing yourself. You heal by remembering that you were never broken. The wounds you carry are not signs of failure. They are signs that you felt, that you lived, that you loved, and that you cared. In healing, you aren't striving to become someone else. You're returning to who you were before the world taught you to hide your light. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. The true work is not just about feeling better. It's about feeling more. It's about allowing yourself to experience the full range of your emotions without numbing, running, or pretending. Grief, rage, joy, love, loss, they all belong. Each one is a teacher. Your emotional depth is not a burden, it's a gift. Healing is not always beautiful. Sometimes it's messy. It looks like crying alone, setting boundaries that hurt, letting go of people you still love, admitting mistakes, rebuilding from ashes. But beauty lies in the honesty, the courage to keep going, the quiet decision to choose yourself again and again. Don't rush your healing. Time doesn't heal wounds. Intentionality does. Some days, you'll make great strides. Other days, your only victory will be getting out of bed. Both are progress. You don't need to move fast. You just need to move forward, no matter how slowly. You will be tested. Life will ask you, are you sure you want to change? It will present old temptations, resurrect former patterns, place you in familiar chaos, not to punish you, but to prepare you. It's not just about becoming new, it's about proving you can sustain that newness. Growth isn't real until it's tested in the fire. Healing is lonely at times. The path of transformation often requires solitude. When you stop seeking external validation and start listening inward, you'll notice fewer voices around you, but more truth within you. Embrace the quiet. That's where clarity lives. There will be times when you doubt yourself, your choices, your progress. That's normal. Self-doubt isn't a stop sign. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your old limits. Let the doubt be part of the journey, but not the driver. Keep choosing courage over comfort. Your triggers are not flaws. They're invitations. Invitations to look deeper, to ask, where does this pain come from? What is still unhealed? Who taught me this fear? When you learn to respond with curiosity instead of criticism, your triggers become portals to transformation. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Not every thought you think is true. Not every emotion is a command. Learning to observe rather than react gives you back your power. It allows you to choose your response with intention. You are not your mind. You are the one who notices it. Sometimes the most powerful act is to rest. We glorify hustle. We wear exhaustion like a badge. But rest is not laziness. It's resistance. It's a radical act of self-trust. Rest says, I do not have to earn my worth. I am enough, even when I am still.
you don't have to know where you're going to take the first step. You just need a willingness to grow. The universe responds to aligned action. As you move in the direction of your highest self, the path reveals itself. One decision at a time, you build the life you once only dreamed about. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive, too emotional, too intense. You are just enough. The parts of you that were once labeled too much are the same parts that make you magic. Stop shrinking to fit places that can't hold your light. Be patient with your process. Trees don't force themselves to bloom. Rivers don't rush their course. You are part of nature. You grow in seasons. You'll bloom when it's time. Trust the timing. Trust the becoming. You're not late. You are not lost. You are unfolding exactly as you should. Comparison will steal your peace every time. Someone else's beauty, success, or healing does not diminish your own. You are not here to replicate someone else's journey. You are here to live your own truth. Your path is sacred. Walk it with pride. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What is this teaching me?" That shift changes everything. It empowers you. It transforms pain into purpose. It rewrites the narrative from victim to victor. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to speak your truth. You are allowed to be loud, soft, bold, gentle, brave, terrified, all at once. There is no right way to be. There is only the way that honors your essence. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's freeing. It's choosing peace over poison. It's releasing yourself from the grip of what hurt you. Forgiveness doesn't make the other person right. It makes you free. The moment you choose peace over revenge, you reclaim your power. You will rise. Not all at once, not without falling, but you will rise. You will learn to carry your past with compassion, your present with awareness, and your future with courage. You will stand taller, love deeper, breathe easier. This is not the end of you. It's the beginning.
You are not who you were a year ago, not even who you were a month ago. Growth happens quietly, in tiny decisions and silent shifts. You let go of what no longer serves. You speak your truth more often. You stand a little taller. This is what becoming looks like. Not loud, not always visible, but powerful nonetheless. You're evolving, even when it feels like nothing is happening. You've walked through fires others will never know. You've carried burdens in silence, smiled through storms, and still, here you are, showing up, choosing healing, choosing life. That alone makes you remarkable. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just continuing. The final form of healing is not perfection, it's peace. You no longer need to prove your worth. You no longer chase validation. You no longer fear solitude. You understand now that peace is not the absence of problems, it's the presence of deep self-trust. That's the summit of the mountain, radical self-acceptance. Gratitude becomes your new lens, not because life is always easy, but because you now see meaning in the mess. You are grateful for the heartbreaks that cracked you open, for the struggles that built your backbone, and for the quiet nights that taught you how to listen inward. Letting go no longer feels like loss. It feels like liberation. You bless the past. You release what cannot stay. You honor what was, and you give space to what will be. You are not bitter, you are lighter, not broken, wiser, not empty, reborn. Healing means loving yourself enough to stop holding on to what's hurting you. You learn to love again, not blindly, but consciously. Love with boundaries, with clarity, with self-respect. You no longer tolerate breadcrumbs when you know you're worthy of the whole loaf. You become the love you once begged for. And from that place, you love others better. You begin to see that not all battles are meant to be fought. Some are meant to be released. Not every invitation to chaos must be accepted.
Your peace is your power. Your calm is your compass. You learn to protect both like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. You begin to speak with more intention, no longer performing, no longer pleasing, just truth, kind, clear, grounded truth. Your words carry weight because they come from a heart that no longer needs to impress. You say what you mean, and you mean what you say. You make room for joy, not as a reward for productivity, but as a birthright. You find magic in ordinary moments, a cup of tea, a song that moves your soul, laughter with someone who sees you. This is life in its most precious form, not perfect, but fully felt. Joy is not a destination, it is a decision to celebrate now. You reframe failure. It's no longer a reflection of your inadequacy, it's a step toward mastery. You understand that failing doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you're trying. Risk becomes less terrifying because your identity no longer depends on a flawless outcome. Now, growth is the win. Your intuition becomes your greatest guide. You trust your gut. You honor your no. You follow what feels expansive. You no longer need a roadmap when your inner compass grows stronger. What used to confuse you now makes sense because you've learned to tune out the noise and listen to the truth within. You forgive yourself fully, not just for what you did, but for what you allowed, what you didn't know, and who you had to become to survive. You stop punishing yourself for how you coped. You hold the younger version of you with compassion. You thank them for getting you here. You no longer seek purpose as something out there. You realize purpose is how you live today, how you treat others, how you show up for yourself. Purpose is not a job, it's the energy you bring to every moment. It's choosing love over fear, again and again. Your purpose isn't something you chase, it's something you embody. And now you turn around. You look down the mountain you've climbed. You see the pieces of yourself you've picked up along the way. The courage, the softness, the power. You realize the mountain didn't make you. It revealed you. It showed you what you were made of. And you, my friend, are made of the fiercest love, the strongest light, and the deepest truth. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are freer, braver, more whole. And though another mountain may come, and it will, you now know this truth. You have already climbed one before. You will do it again, and each time you will rise even higher. You are the mountain. You are the climber. You are the summit. And now you are free. If you've come this far, know this. You are not who you were at the beginning of this journey. You faced the deepest parts of yourself with honesty, grace, and courage. You've stepped away from old patterns. You've learned that healing is not about changing who you are, but remembering who you've always been beneath the pain. You've climbed the mountain, not to conquer it, but to discover that it was always a mirror, a teacher, a sacred space where you met your truest self. And now you carry a different kind of strength, not loud, not showy, but quiet, rooted, and undeniable. There will be other mountains, other fears, other unknowns, but you will meet them differently now, not with desperation, but with wisdom, not with self-doubt, but with deep inner trust. Let this journey remind you, the mountain is not in your way. The mountain is you. And the moment you chose to climb, you became unstoppable.